All right, it's been a little while, but I'm back in the saddle again. Welcome to the broadcast. This hangout right here is going to be an undeniable hangout. Do you have an axe to grind? This is by Doug Axe's new book, Undeniable: How Biology Confirms Our Intuition That Life is Designed. This book, to me, is nothing short of amazing. I thought the theory of evolution had problems before. After I read this book, I'm like, man, this one pretty much in my mind puts the nail in the coffin for it. I mean, if the nail in the coffin was already put in evolution long ago, this is just one more extra nail to the coffin. So, yeah, this book was just a fantastic outline of how to approach the subject of evolution from a common sense perspective, sort of a layman's perspective on looking at things. Um, you're gonna hear a little bit of background noise, maybe a lot of background noise, because I'm doing this hangout from outside. It's a nice day outside, but so if it gets to you, whatever, you have to bear with me. I apologize, but anyway, Doug X's new book. I was thinking about doing a summary on each chapter, but I think that would give a bit too much away. I'll discuss some of the points in brief in this hangout, but if I would have said too much about the book, then that would I think that would probably give people less of an incentive to buy it if I were to like kind of summarize the point. So if you want to know um, what's in the book, then obviously buy it. Uh, with that said, I'll definitely talk about some of the things in the book, um, but before we get to that, I want to just get to some issues that some people had with the book. In its the first week of its release, when Doug Axe and his colleagues did the book release party. There was a live stream at the book release party, and Doug Axe was talking about when his book was released on Amazon.com. You already had a few people one star in the book even before they read it. I just found that very, very laughable and quite sad. You had people giving the book a one star even before they even read the book. I mean, I guess in a way, um, any review is helpful directly or indirectly because even a bad review does give attention to the book. So I guess in one sense it was helpful, but in another sense, it was just flat out petty that you had people approaching this book, you know, bringing their irrationally biased presuppositions to the table, and one star in the book. Um, well, somebody's baby's crying, but people were already bringing their biased presuppositions to the table, even before they even read the book. It was just embarrassing. One star in the book. Heck, I saw another person who even started reading the book, and I only had read 3 chapters before they threw out a criticism of it. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. It just goes to show you just the lengths people will go to reject the opposing paradigm of intelligent design to the evolutionary field. Some people just are going to carry those. I mean, everybody's going to have presuppositions. That's undeniable, pun intended. But at the same time, I think what you do with those presuppositions is crucial. It's very vital. And some people irrationally and just disrespectfully allow their presuppositions to dictate to dictate their thinking before they even read the book. This is just crazy. But this book is just, to me, it just provides a thrashing of the evolutionary theory from a common sense perspective. Uh, and I actually did read the entire book. I didn't just read a couple of pages and offer my review. I didn't just, skim through the book and nothing. I took the time and read the book from I guess you could say e cover to e cover because I purchased the book on a Google Play, so the cover was more electronic than anything. There's a saying that goes like this: that you cannot, or that you shouldn't rather, judge a book by its cover. But some people judge a book by reading just a few pages. So while it's true you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, some people judge a book within a few pages. And I'm not even saying it's always a bad thing to judge a book by a few pages. Like, I mean, if you have certain texts that are obviously hateful, like you maybe have certain books that are written by, like, I don't know, the KKK, for example. Maybe it's fine to like have to be justified in your opinion on outing out that sort of material, because they're not going to write something that's going to be obviously, good. It's just going to be hate. There's going to be some evil stuff. But I mean, but in the overwhelming majority of cases, you can't really apply that same kind of thinking. And I think there was a lot of irrationality um, and a lot of unwarranted irrational criticism applied to the book, even before people read it at all or even read through it all. But my reading of the book from e cover to e cover was just, I just thought it was an amazing book. Um, I'll tell some of what the book is about, but I won't give too much of it away. You gotta read it yourself. But in a nutshell, um, the book speaks about how we can approach the subject of evolution from a common sense science perspective. You don't necessarily need to have a super huge technical know-how to approach science and to approach the subject of evolution. You can offer a pretty solid critique of the of the field, even if you don't have a scientific understanding of the subject, and it appeals to our common sense intuition to detect design in what we see in the world. And in many ways, you have evolutionists that will try to get us to suppress our design intuition, and they just try to, no matter what, they'll try to find a way to explain the world in an absolute must without the design intuition. But it's not healthy to suppress your design intuition. But what's more rational to do is explore your design intuition and see how your design intuition stacks up to the facts, rather than dismissing your design intuition from the outset. And the Hangout ain't even been on that long, and Christopher Hissler says he has an axe to grind. Well, I mean, that shouldn't really come as a surprise to me, but whatever, it is what it is. People are going to have their opinions, and I obviously have mine. It was a great book, and others are going to have theirs. And but I mean, did you at least to read the entire book? You know, before you started grinding your axe. I mean, or did you take the time to really try to understand what he was saying? That's that's the crucial point here. Um, but like I said, man, a lot of people just started giving their reviews on Amazon.com. And like it was like what maybe within 24 hours of the release of the book, and there was people that was 1 star in it, uh, and it was just crazy. I think if I remember correctly, there were even 1 stars before the book was released because it was posted on Amazon for pre-order, and just a while. I just didn't really know what to think. That people were just marking down the book and didn't even read a page. That just goes to show you just how much people want to attack something that goes against whatever particular paradigm they believe in. Um, as much as I disagree with the evolutionary theory or fact or whatever evolutionists want to call it, I'm not going to like take a page or two of someone's book and be like, well, yeah, based off a page or two that I've read, I can discredit the whole thing. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be honest and I'm going to read the entire thing. Or if I haven't read it, um, I'm not going to really say anything about it at all because it's intellectually dishonest to just take a conclusive position on something that you haven't even looked at. So, um, Isaiah Sloan says he hasn't read the book, but he'd like to see why I think his arguments are valid. Yes, in fact, I have read the book. Like I said, you might have came into the chat a little late, Isaiah, but I read the book from. I purchased it on Google Play, so it's sort of an e-cover, if you will. I read the book from e-cover to e-cover. So yeah, I think the arguments are very, very solid because I mean, the fact of the matter is, no matter how hard you try, you cannot escape your design intuition completely. You can try to suppress it all you wish, but ultimately, you're not going to be able to do a total escape of the design intuition you have. It's just like if you look at an origami bird, for example. Um, Even a 6, 7 year old child is going to be like, wow, they see it for the first time. They're probably gonna ask who made this or how was this made. They're intuitively are going to have that design intuition. And I think you can rationally apply that to what we see around you. You are going to have an intuition on how a tree is made or how a fish is made, how sky is made, or a lot of house stuff is made. Um, it's not bad to ask that question. I mean, you could investigate the matter and see if that is the right question to ask. But I think having the natural, um, intuitive instinct to ask that question is not at all a bad thing. And you have these people that want to just kill that intuition, out the gate before they even really read the book. And not only people before they even read this book, but also people who have talked about the subject of evolution and intelligent design, and just right out the gate, just tried to kill off anything, questioning the evolutionary theory. And it's important not to question um, your natural intuition of things, not to question your. I mean, I'm not saying do not have a skepticism. That's not what I'm arguing, because a lot of people will question. Well, a lot of people will confuse me saying to shut off your skepticism by just this blind open intuition argument, and that's not at all what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is rather you have a natural design intuition, and I think it's a very, very legit position to explore what it is. And you have people out there that wanted to suppress this design intuition, and we can outline this very point by talking about Thomas Nagel. Here's what he in his thoughts. He said, "I want atheism to be true, and I am made uneasy by the fact that some of the most intelligent and well-informed people I know are religious believers. It isn't just that I don't believe in God, and naturally I hope that I'm right in my belief. It's that I hope there is no God. I don't want there to be a God. I don't want the universe to be like that." So you'll have people out there that will want you to suppress your intuition either directly or indirectly. He like literally hopes, Nagel hoped that there would be no such God. And I think, and you know what? I actually respect his honesty, because I think there's a whole lot of people out there that are like that. That really at the heart of it all hope that there isn't a creator. And in my experience, the Christian God concept of a creator. But absolutely, you have a lot of people that aren't very honest in their assessment of the Great Debate. You'll have people that'll try to pretend like, well, I'm really approaching it from just a standpoint of a lack of evidence. I just don't see the evidence for a creator or anything like that. But I think when you talk to most people long enough, you can see that it's not really the fact that they are approaching it on a line of evidence, but just like Nagel, they truly really wish there was no God, or at least no creator like the Christian God specifically anyway. So he just offers just scathing critique of just people who apply this source of inerrant thinking and this sort of inerrant reasoning. And if you want to really get into the meat of this whole thing, if you really want to have an honest critique of his points, then go ahead and read the book. And that's pretty much my thoughts on that. In a little bit, I'm going to open the Hangout discussion, but I just want to do some more talk on these people who have this sort of axe to grind with not only intelligent design, but with people like Doug Hacks himself. When you are so consumed with sticking to a particular paradigm that you would do stuff like dumb, like for example, like people do the same type of thing that they did with Doug Axe's book that they do here on YouTube. Even before they really watch a video, they'll thumbs it down. I've seen videos posted by brothers like Nephilim Free and True Empiricism and brothers like those and brothers like G-Man, and people would thumbs down the videos even before the videos are even up for like even a minute. because because there are times where I would catch the video within like the first minute or so, and it's not even a minute into the video, and you already see like 5 thumbs down. Just go into attack mode before they even really have a valid criticism of anything. And I think in many of the same ways, they did the same kind of thing with Doug Axe's book. They just thumbs down video, and they thumbs down videos before they even read them, and they thumbs they will 1 star Doug Axe's book even before they even read it. So hold on a sec. There's cars in the back. I told you I was gonna be noise out here. I'm doing this hangout outside, so I'm out here in the park. You're gonna hear some noise, so bear with me. But anyway, let's read some of these comments in the chat. Just see what's been said here. Okay. Let's see. One, it says he doesn't have that intuition. Design intuition, meaningless phrase. The book is a variation of stuff we see that is designed, therefore we must infer everything must be designed. An old argument rewrite with a shiny new ribbon called intuition. Um, I was hoping for an actual argument for intelligent design for a change. Didn't get one. Uh, all right. These are just these are just really, really, really bad objections. Honestly, it's really, really nothing that I've seen before. I don't really think it's the point about. I don't think it's so much about looking for a new argument. I think the argument that is already okay. There's that train. I told you I was gonna be noise out here. I'm gonna mute for just a moment, and I'll be right back. All right, my apologies. I was a longer pause than I expected it to be. That train was pretty loud and pretty long, but it's past now. Um, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over a few um things that Doug X said. You know, I'm not going to flat out just put out the whole book out there, but I'll go over some things in the point which some things in his book which really interested me. Now, let's see, where do I begin? There was so many good things in here. Where do I even start? I should have really had this rolled out before I even started this hangout. And here comes another train. Another one just passed. One just passed, and here's another one already. Well, I'm gonna have to pause again. So while I got this pause, I'll try to get a few of my thoughts laid out here. My apologies for that. All right, now that train is gone, this is really really crazy. Um, the first thing I'm gonna briefly talk about is Doug X outlines two views of science. One, he speaks about technical science, and then he speaks about common science. And you know, common science is basically our intuition. In a sense, we're all scientists to a degree. He says we tend to overlook two key facts. One is that everyone validates their design intuition through firsthand experience. The other is that this experience is scientific in nature. It really is. Basic science is an integral part of how we live. We are all careful observers of our world. We all make mental notes of what we observe. We all use those notes to build conceptual models of how things work. And we all continually refine these models as needed. Without doubt, this is science. I have called it common science to emphasize the connection to common sense. We embark on our quest to understand the world at a tender age. Long before we walk, we have constructed simple mental models of gravity and balance. Long before we put our hands to art, we have acquired notions of color, shape, and form. Long before we speak, we have learned to classify things into categories that await the terms we eventually use to refer to them. All these model building activities and many more use innate mental ability to process the data, the information we receive from the world by observing it. Of course, we engage in these activities so naturally we don't think of them in technical terms. My point is that they really are scientific in nature. whether or not we think of them that way. And I'm gonna stop there. So if you want to read it, if you want to get into the deepness of what he was talking about, then get you the book. Let's see what else. Uh, what else do I want to talk about here that he said that was really struck out to me? Um, let's see here. Uh, oh, he focused on the importance that natural selection can only deal with what's already here. That it really cannot invent. And he lays the thought out in the following way: the gaping hole in evolutionary theory. Evolutionary theory ascribes inventive power to natural selection alone. However, because selection can only home in on the fitness signal from an invention after that invention already exists, it cannot actually invent. So he outlines this with a quote from a guy by the name of Dan Tawfik. Nothing evolves unless it already exists. Let's see. Let's see. Where is that quote? I really did not have this organized very well at all, but let's see here. I'm trying to find that quote of his. Next time I do one of these types of hangouts, I'm gonna have like some notes written down. I was not very organized before I even started this, but nonetheless, it's here somewhere. Just give me a moment to find it. Let's see. Well, we'll skip that for now. I can't seem to find the quote anywhere, but because I wasn't organized like before I even started this hangout. Um, I just wanted to kind of talk off the cuff here, but it's in here somewhere. But I don't feel like reading all the material trying to find it. But instead of doing that, I'll go into another point that what I thought was really good. Um, it talks about, let's see. But you know what? I think I would be literally revealing way too much if I read anymore. So with that said, I'm going to end this hangout here, and then I'm going to because I don't want to get this hangout mixed in. Um, actually, um, I want to start a different hangout instead. What I want to do is what do I want to do here? I had what I wanted to do in mind, and I'm just not on. Okay, well here's what I'm gonna do. Rather than continue to ramble without offering anything to say, I'm gonna go ahead and end this particular hangout. But if I think of where I want to go next, I'll post a new link for a continuation, and then we'll go from there. But I will have another hangout planned before the end of the night, probably within the next 10 minutes or so, because I really have no idea what direction I want to take this in. So rather than sitting here, um, just not saying anything and just having y'all wait for me to say something, I'm going to go ahead and end this hangout, and then I'm going to decide what direction I want to take it in next. So I appreciate everyone watching for the little time that I did speak. I really apologize. But I'm going to end this one, and then I'll be starting a new one real soon.